Hello, neighbors, brothers, and sisters in Christ. Thank you for stopping by for our reading in Genesis. I'm glad that you joined us. So let's begin. We'll read the last few sentences of the previous chapter and see what it has to teach us. When they, the brothers of Joseph, told Jacob all the words of Joseph, and when he saw the wagons that Joseph sent to carry him, then the spirit of their father Jacob revived. Then Israel said, "It is enough. My son Joseph is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." So Israel set out with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. God spoke to Israel in a vision, revelation of the night, and said, "Jacob, Jacob." And he said, "Here I am." Then the Lord said, "I am God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will establish you into a great people there. I, God, will go down with you to Egypt, and I will also assuredly bring you up to Canaan again. And Joseph will close your eyes." Then Jacob left Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried their father Jacob and their little ones and wives in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent. They also took their livestock and possessions which they acquired in Canaan, and came to Egypt. Jacob and all his descendants, his sons and grandsons, daughters and granddaughters, all his descendants, Israel brought with him to Egypt. Now these are the names of the sons of Israel who went to Egypt, Jacob and his sons. Reuben, Jacob's firstborn. The sons of Reuben, Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon, Shemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Judah, and Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. But and Onan died in Canaan. The sons of Perez, Judah's son, were Hezron and Hamuel. The sons of Issachar, Tola, Puvah, Yob, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun, Sered, Elon, and Jaleel. These are the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob with his daughter Dinah. All Jacob's sons and daughters, 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphon, Haggai, Shani, Ezbon, Uri, Aradi, and Areli. The sons of Asher, Imnah, Ishvi, Bari, and their sister Sarai. And the sons of Bari were Heber and Kello. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to his daughter Leah. And Zilpah bore to Jacob these 16 persons. The sons of Jacob's wife Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. Joseph in the land of Egypt, to Joseph in the land of Egypt, were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore to him. The sons of Benjamin, Bela, Bekar, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Elhi, Rosh, Mapim, Hupim, and Arad. These are the sons of Rachel, who were born to Jacob, 14 persons in all. The son of Dan was Hushim. The sons of Naphtali were Jaziel, Gunai, Jezer, and Shillem. These are the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to his daughter Rachel, and Bilhah bore these to Jacob, 7 persons in all. All the people belonging to Jacob who came to Egypt, his direct descendants, not including the wives of his sons, 66 persons in all. And the sons of Joseph were 2. So all the people of the house of Jacob who came to Egypt were 70. Now Jacob sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph to guide him to Goshen, and the house of Jacob came into the land of Goshen. Joseph prepared his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. As soon as he appeared to him, Joseph threw himself on Jacob's neck and wept a long time. Then Israel said to Joseph, "Now let me die, since I have seen your face, that you are still alive." Joseph said to his brothers and father's household, "I will go up and tell Pharaoh, and will say to him, 'My brothers and my father's house have come to me. The men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of flocks, and have brought their flocks, herds, and all that they have.' When Pharaoh calls for you and says, 'What is your work?' you shall say, 'Your servants or subjects have been keepers of livestock since our youth, even until now, both we and our fathers, so that you may live in the land of Goshen, because every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians." Then Joseph went in and said to Pharaoh, "My father and my brothers and their sheep and goats and oxen and cows and cattle, and all that they have come from the land of Canaan, and behold, they are in the land of Goshen." Joseph took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Joseph's brothers, "What do you do for work?" They replied, "Your servants are shepherds, both we and our fathers. We have come to reside in the land. For there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, because the famine is so severe in the land of Canaan. Therefore, please let your servants stay in the land of Goshen." Pharaoh then said to Joseph, "Your father and brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is at your disposal. Settle your father and your brothers in the best of the land, and let them live in the land of Goshen. If you know any capable men among them, then put them in charge of my livestock." Then Joseph brought his father Jacob and presented him to Pharaoh. And Jacob kneeled or blessed Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to Jacob, "How many years have you lived?" So Jacob replied, "The years of my life are 130. Few and unpleasant have been the years of my life, nor have they attained the years that my fathers lived during the days of their living." Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from his presence. Then Joseph settled his father and brothers and gave them property in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, or Lower Egypt, as Pharaoh had ordered. Joseph also provided his father and brothers and all his father's household with food, according to the number of their little ones. Now there was no food in all the land, because the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and Canaan lavished because of the famine. Joseph had collected all the money that was in the land of Egypt and Canaan for the grain which they had bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. When the money was all spent in the land, all the Egyptians came to Joseph, saying, "Provide us food, for why should we die in your presence? For our money is gone." Joseph said, "Give up your livestock, and I will exchange you for your livestock, since your money is gone." So the people brought their livestock to Joseph, and he gave them food in exchange for the horses, flocks, herds, and donkeys. And he fed them with food that year in exchange for all their livestock. But when that year ended, the people came to Joseph the next year and said, "We will not hide from my lord, or one higher than ourselves, that our money is all spent, and the livestock are my lord's. There is nothing left for my lord except our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your sight, both we and our land? Buy, hire, or acquire us and our land for food, and we and our land will be slaves to Pharaoh. So give us seed so that we may live and not die, that the land may not be desolate." Because of this, Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For every Egyptian sold his field, because the famine hunger was severe upon them. The land became Pharaoh's. As for the people, he relocated them to the cities from one end of Egypt's border to the other. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, because the priests had an allotment from Pharaoh, and they lived off that allotment. Therefore they did not sell their land. Then Joseph said to the people, "Behold, today I have purchased you and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you may sow the land. At the harvest you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh, and 4/5 shall be your own for seed of the field, for your food and those of your household, and food for your little ones." They responded, "You have preserved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my lord, and we will be Pharaoh's slaves." Joseph made it a statute concerning the land of Egypt to this day, that Pharaoh was to have the fifth, only the land of the priests did not become Pharaoh's. Now Israel lived in the land of Egypt, in Goshen, and they acquired property in it, and were fruitful and became very numerous. Jacob lived in Egypt for 17 years. The length of Jacob's life was 147 years. When the time for Israel to die drew near, he called his son Joseph and said, "Please, if I have found favor in your sight, place your hand under my thigh and deal with me in kindness and faithfulness. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but when I lie down with my fathers, you shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial place." Joseph said, "I will do as you have said." Then Jacob said, "Swear, take an oath to me." So Joseph swore to him. Then Israel bowed at the head of the bed. Now it happened after these things, Joseph was told, "Behold, your father is sick." So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, with him. When it was told to Jacob, When it was told to Jacob, "Your son Joseph has come to you," Israel collected his strength and sat up in the bed. Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me in Luz, in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. God said to me, 'See, I will make you fruitful and numerous, and I will make you a multitude of peoples, and will deliver up this land to your descendants after you as an everlasting possession.' Now, your two sons, who were born to you in Egypt before I came to you, are mine. Ephraim and Manasseh shall be mine, as in the same way as Reuben and Simeon are. But your children after them shall be yours. They shall be called by the names of their relatives in their inheritance. As for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died, to my sorrow, in the land of Canaan on the journey, when there was still some distance to go to Ephrath. I buried her there on the way to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem." When Israel saw Joseph's sons, he said, "Who are these?" And Joseph said, "They are my sons, whom God has given me." So Israel said, "Bring them to me, please, so that I may bless them." Israel's eyes were dim from age, so he could not see. Joseph brought them close, and Israel kissed them and embraced them. Then he said to Joseph, "I never expected to see your face, and behold, God has let me see your children as well." Joseph took them from his knees, and bowed with his face to the ground. Joseph took Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left, and Manasseh with his left hand toward Israel's right, and brought them close to him. But Israel reached out his right hand and placed it on the head of Ephraim, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, crossing his hands. Although Manasseh was the firstborn, Israel blessed Joseph and said, "The God before whom my father Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the boys. May my name live on in them, and the names of my fathers Abraham and Isaac. May they grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. When Joseph saw that his father placed his right hand on Ephraim's head, it displeased him. He grasped his father's hand to move it from Ephraim to Manasseh, saying to his father, "Not so, my father, this one is the firstborn. Place your right hand on his head." But Israel refused and said, "I know, my son, I know. Manasseh will become a great people, and he also will be great. However, his younger brother shall be greater than him, and his descendant shall become a multitude of people." So Israel blessed them that day, saying, "By you, Israel, pronounce blessings and say, may God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." And he put Ephraim before Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph, "I am about to die, but God will be with you and bring you back to the land of your fathers. I give you one portion more than your brothers, which I took from the hand of the Amorite with my sword and bow." Sorry for the pronunciations of some of the names. They're a little tongue twisting, but I hope we are learning a lot from these readings. I've learned some things that I will share in our summary. Like, have you ever wondered why when Israel is separated into inheritances, Joseph don't get one? Well, Israel just answered that. The reason that Joseph doesn't and Ephraim and Manasseh are part of the tribes of Israel is right there. But may you have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining us again. May I see you next time, where we will finish the book of Genesis and see what else happens. God bless you.